Saturday morning. No focus here. No focus here. Driving along. We're on Bob's Road. This is Bob's Road. We're here on Bob's Road. So just riding along to my mom. Decided I would I got done talking to a good friend of mine. My mom, get a game plan going on. Hey, we got cows. The road's kind of bumpy, you know. And you can see it. It's bumpy ahead, right? We're all over the place because it's so bumpy. But we got to prepare for those bumps, right? Accordingly to speed and how we take them, what we do. Kind of like a metaphor of life, right? There's always little bumps in life on the road. It's like what's going on now. But you just stay straight. Stay straight. Myself about certain bumps. My little bumps are worries and insecurities and mistakes and letting go of mistakes and all that jazz. Fixed, right? Like these bumps. These are mistakes. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. It's a bouncy road. Bob's Road's bouncy. Bob's Road. Look at this. Ain't that cool, folks? Like this is some country roads. Take me home to where I belong. Oklahoma. I don't really belong in Oklahoma. I actually belong in SoCal. But for now, I'm in Oklahoma. That's where I rest my hat. Bouncy, bouncy. Yeah, there's reflections from the road, but they're bouncy reflections from the road, aren't they? Along this bouncy, turbulent road. They're getting fed. On the way to get fed, tractor man must have just dropped some feeding supply material, whatever the case may be. So I said, heck it, right? We'll go live, do some reflections from the road. I don't know why I call it reflections from the road. It's just a cool road. Bob's Road. Over here on Bob's Road. Got Bob's Road windmills out towards the north. That's looking north, by the way, for you fine folks. So that means I'm traveling eastbound on Bob's Road. Stoner, welcome to Bob's Road. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Swellwell and totally hip and groovy. Just traveling down Bob's Road. Here in Bob's Road. Hope you're doing swell well. How are you, my friend? I hope you're totally. I'm glad you're here vicariously on Bob's Road. This is Bob's Road, by the way. Looks like we had some flooding along Bob's Road, so I gotta drive accordingly and be careful. I don't want to hit no flooded Bob's Road, flooded spots like right there. See, there's a flooded Bob's Road. This is the new Bob's Road that was probably built sometime in the 20s. Bob's Road. I'm telling you, because you never know. Here on Bob's Road, I got everything all packed up in the Ford F-250 here on Bob's Road. So we're getting ready to come into the little town of Marland, named after the great oil baron, oil tycoon, their fancy rinchy E.W. Marlin, who basically owned technical difficulties. We're back. Anywho, Bliss, Oklahoma used to be over there. E.W. Marlin came with all his money. They're like, okay, let's move the town over here, and we'll get a name at Marland after him. So the town was moved over here on the other side of the railroad tracks. Town of Marland, Oklahoma. Itty bitty town, Marland Co-op, scientifically into the paranormal. Yours used to investigate the old Marland School, which a good friend of mine actually lived in the old school. Anywho, folks, the school is right over here. Still stands today. I can probably get into the school because my step uncle owns the school. It actually is a family member owns this old school here. But yeah, we used to do paranormal research in this old school, and it's super Spooksville, paranormal wise. This is what started me into the paranormal investigations. This little school right here, used to be known as Marlin School. This is actually the third school that's been built on that site. And over here on the north side, this is where all the spooky stuff happened. Right there. That door wasn't built when I used to investigate there. But yeah, I used to investigate many times. And I figured, well, heck it, we're coming through Marlin, Oklahoma. Itty bitty Marlin, Oklahoma. Probably a population of like 350 folks that live in this place. But that's the old school. They moved the school. People go to the Frontier School, which is down by Red Rock, Oklahoma. It's such a tiny town, you can damn near smell the methamphetamine cooking. And that's what you can. You go to that town, you smell the methamphetamine cooking. Nowadays, back in the day, it was oil baron money. Oil. This is all the oil, big oil companies out here. Hello. This nice little silo here. This was the boundary line to the Miller Ranch, the famous Miller Ranch. The Miller brothers owned the 101 Wild West Rodeo, which took place right up here, this old place. I will show you fine folks. But, yeah, this was all once owned by the Miller brothers. The famous Bill Pickett. Famous Bill Pickett. The black rodeo cowboy is buried right up there with Chief White Eagle. Let's check it out here. I got a few vlogs from this location in the old VW bus. You guys can go use your Columbo-like skills and check it out here at Monument Hill, Marlin, Oklahoma, right up there. Pickett, first rodeo cowboy, black rodeo cowboy, African American rodeo cowboy. That's where he was buried. He was a bull rider. He liked to ride bulls. And there's a horse buried up there. There's a horse. Anyway, there's a horse and Chief White Eagle. Chief White Eagle was the chief of the Ponca Nation. They built this nice little area for it. That nice piece of property actually belongs to more relatives of mine, except for the monument. So on we go. A little history lesson for you fine folks on this live stream. Reflections from the road. This is something you guys don't get very much. But yeah, Monument Hill. Beautiful Monument Hill in Marlin, Oklahoma. Cruising on down north here on Bob's Road. Checking out the scenery. Like I said, this once was owned all by the Miller Ranch, the Wild Miller Ranch. They owned the Wild West 101 Wild West show that traveled the planet. Not just this country, but the planet. Up until the late 20s, I do believe, and then the Depression era hit, and they all just lost their money, and hard times came upon the rich folks. Shame when hard times come upon the old rich folks and they lose their money. It happens, but we all get by, we all survive. And that's what happened with the Miller brothers. The Miller brothers owned all this nice chunk of property. Over there, this property owned by my relatives, my aunt, cousins, all that jazz. So this is like, I come to this neck of the woods. This is roots. California is my home, my actual home. That's where I like to lay my hat, but I can't right now. But Oklahoma is always going to be my roots. My roots, man. You gotta know where your roots are at. Right up here to the left is more property owned by my relatives, my aunt, my mom's sister-in-law, my uncle. He passed away a while back, but all his property. He actually has some pretty cool stuff from the old Miller Ranch. Was known as the Miller Ranch. But we're getting ready to go past a little cool place, a little interesting place here in a few. It's called Cowboy Hill or Boot Hill, whatever the case may be, where the cowboys would like to be buried and all that jazz. So it's where the Miller brothers, the fine folks that was property owners of all this beautiful stuff we're looking at, they owned all this stuff. So once they all, went to the great beyond or whatever the case may be, they were all married, schmarried, fancy schmancy like right over here. Last time I stopped there, they had some no trespassing signs, so we'll just kind of drive by and look at it, shall we? Just kind of slowly, we'll slow down a little bit here. We just kind of look at it as we're getting ready to cross the Arkansas River. But right there in that nice little fenced-in area, Cowboy Hill, Boot Hill, whatever you want to call it, what's officially known as Cowboy Hill. We're crossing the beautiful Arkansas River. And the Miller brothers, they used to have a big fancy schmancy house called the White House, which was right over here. But right over here is where they had the big Wild West rodeo. All kinds of rodeo stuff happened. Rodeo stuff and all that jazz. But right up here in this nice little monument place, they've done some nice work. I got some video from this place. You guys want to go use your Columbia video paranormal research skills and groovy jazz and all that stuff, go check it out. But the old house right there used to be a big old one ranch. Yes. Location long before they'd done all this work. We used to investigate this place. It looks like a nice happy park, don't it? You guys want to go check it out? All right, let's go check it out. So yeah, experience this live. This is live. You guys can hang out right here. Matt, my friends. See the old. All right, there's that house right there. All right, so we're standing right here right now. This is where we're standing, looking at the picture where that gate is. See that gate? There's that. So there's a fancy schmancy gate. And that's the White House right there. That's where that house used to stand right there. Talk about Creepsville, man. This place is super paranormal. This is what it used to look like back in its heyday. Let's go. So it's amazing, folks. You kind of look at this, and at one time, these people they had everything. They had a nice one Wild West show. They had Bill Pickett, Buffalo Bill, Geronimo. All those folks was in this guy's show. This guy had a lot of money. The Miller brothers, and they did it all. It's like lost it all. And their life just they went to the pity pot. I'm trying. My life to the pity pot when the weird stuff happens, and it's a great metaphor, I guess if you sit in pity pot, that's what happens, right? If you sit in pity pot. So, lesson for today, no pity pot. Get off the pity pot horse. So here we are back on Bob's Road. Bob's Party Time Road. It's been fun. It's been swell, well, and groovy. I hope you guys enjoyed this little ride. Oh, I guess we'll continue the ride. Let's continue the ride on into town a little bit. Well, almost into town, because my battery is going down, and for some reason my charger is not charging it up at all. I don't know why, man. Check out that wallet. I got that wallet from a good friend of mine. She's a YouTuber over there, Super Enthused. Go check out Super Enthused channel. You'll be enthused. I assure you of that. I need to catch up on some of her videos myself, but that was a nice present from a Super Enthused friend of mine. Here on Bob's Road again. Bob's Road. Hope you guys are enjoying Bob's Road. So technically, when we cross this creek here, back in the old days, this is when you'd leave the Miller Brothers Wild West. This all belonged to Native Americans out here in the town of Ponca City, and it was oil refineries, part of the big E.W. Marlin Conoco oil refinery, all out here. This was actually a side track I took to my mom's house. I would have been there by now if I didn't take this way, but I said, heck it. I feel like taking the long way home. And that's what I'm doing, man. I'm excited to go hang out with my mom. I really am. It's been a weird few 24 hours. You know, I was excited to go hang out with some friends and shoot some pool and buy everybody around a drinks or whatever. And of course that was like shot down. No, it's like not allowed. Not allowed. It's like I'm 42 years old, you know, I should be able to hang out and do that type of stuff, but it's weird, you know, how people and their egos get involved in a weird egoism. And that's all it is, you know. But I'm excited to go see my mom, hang out with her, do some fun stuff. All right, my friends, it's been most excellent. Reflections from the road, right? It's been an interesting one. You guys have a most groovy Saturday. I'll have an edited vlog thrown out there tonight. A nice edited vlog. Just a little what's going on, little snippets of my today's life. And then we'll do some live vlogging again tomorrow. You know, whatever the case may be. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tagging along, Stoner. As always, be kind to one another, even if you're pissed off at them. You gotta look at them wrong, and that's the only way you can be kind and not say nothing. Go about it, do it, or just not even look at them at all. Don't say nothing at all. And love one another. Love your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, friends, relatives. Just try to share some love out there, because love's all we have when we take it to the other side. And be grateful for all the moments, weird moments and janky moments and good moments and sad moments of the day. Because that's what makes us who we are. Peace.